Out of Bounds. Streaming worldwide live on the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio. At ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
That was funny when Lane Kiffin said shocker when he heard during his press conference that the Alabama LSU game next weekend would be at night and the Ole Miss hosting the Georgia Bulldogs will be at 2:30 on ABC.
Yes, sir.
The Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Jackson, do you love steak?
Yes.
Filet?
Yes.
Ribeye?
Yes.
New York strip?
Of course.
Kessler Prime and the Renaissance, KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. I'd also like to throw out the rack of lamb. Is fabulous.
So good.
KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. We want to let you know that Wilderness Trail Bourbon is the official bourbon of the Out of Bounds Show. So is Russell's Reserve. But Wilderness Trail Rye scored 97 points. Try it. You'll love it. It is fabulous with a steak and a cigar. Wilderness Trail Rye, 97 points. Wilderness Trail Wheated is also excellent. Jamie Ferris at Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg has a Wilderness Trail barrel pick for you. If you live in Hattiesburg or you're going through Hattiesburg, that's Jamie Ferris, Lincoln Road, has a Wilderness Trail barrel pick. The bottles are there. We have several back in that closet, and we're excited about that as we kick into holiday season. What are you going to do for, have you decided what you're going to do for Halloween?
Costume-wise, negative.
Do you have a party?
Do have a party.
Are you hosting?
Not going to I'm hosting around the corner. It's a little neighborhood guy. You know, we got a little cluster of us right over there in that little neighborhood.
Okay.
And so we're going to hold it at one of the buddies' house.
That's probably better.
I don't want it anywhere near my house.
Yeah.
No.
You know, so.
Because everything's on limits.
Did your girlfriend want to host or not host?
No. She's smart enough to not do that.
Okay.
I mean, it's just an eclectic group of people. How about that? That I can't trust. So.
Oh.
You just never know, man. There's a bunch of wild cards. You put a bunch of wild cards together, and it's a.
Do you think the party will it be on Friday?
Friday.
Okay, so Halloween's tomorrow,
right?
But the party will be on Friday,
November 1.
All right. Do you think that it'll go late?
It'll go late. It'll go early.
Oh, into the early.
Oh, it's gonna be in the wee hours.
Okay,
probably about 4. It'll shut down.
So you may not see Ole Miss and Arkansas kick off at 11 a.m.
I hadn't seen an 11 a.m. kickoff all year. No, I'm not going to see that.
Okay.
It's my sleep.
So
day.
you may get into like the second quarter of the game.
Yeah, I'd probably go with like the second flight of games, but yeah, second quarter.
Okay.
Go with that. Second half for sure.
How late do you sleep on the weekends?
Saturdays, that's my sleep day.
Saturday is?
Yeah, that's my sleep day.
So what? Give me an idea. 11 a.m. noon.
We can power to 2 sometimes.
You can stay in bed till 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Easily. I only sleep, 4 hours a day or 4 hours a night during the week. Because I have to. Because if I don't, then I don't know. If I sleep over 4, it's weird. It just doesn't work well.
Okay. That's why you were up this morning at 1 a.m.
That's right.
Eating Nerds, Cool Ranch Doritos, and mochi?
Mochi, yeah.
Okay. From, what's the name of the place?
Whole Foods.
I never can remember that. I can't ever remember Whole Foods. I don't know why. I drive by it all the time. I mean, not as much as Fresh Market, but I did drive by Whole Foods yesterday because I went to the Rogue to see the renovation, and Spring Street Cigars will be going into the Rogue building, and they're going to take 3 floors, and they're going to have a full bar, and it's going to be amazing.
That's dope.
It's going to be insane. Wait till you see the downstairs bar and
how
how they're going to do it.
And that's going to do very well sitting right there.
Great. All right. So obviously centrally located, right off the interstate. Spring Street Cigars is going in the Rogue building, right there where the Rogue and Nuke's located.
That's a home run.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that is.
I will be having cigars there, and Wilderness Trail rye, among other things.
They have cigar clubs, right? Like
They do,
Yeah.
around the country. Yeah.
sort of. I mean, will there be a chapter down here?
I don't know, but you'll have a membership too, so you can be a member.
Yeah.
Like I'm a member in Starville.
Yeah,
so you get a
sure.
locker, and you have access to the upstairs part where it's members only.
That's cool.
It works for me. I mean, there's usually not anybody. I mean, there's usually only 2 people in there. Maybe if I get there at 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon, if I'm traveling up there, it's great. Light a cigar, chill out,
But when is
maybe
this,
take the laptop up, do a little this or that. All good.
What is it?
Smoke a cigar. It's got the wraparound balcony. It's beautiful.
In the road. That's going to be a great spot. So when is this set to take place?
They will open somewhere, I think, late January, early February.
Oh, we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about.
They got to renovate it, build the bar out. Well, they're going to have 2 bars, humidors, the whole thing, fixtures. It'll be a cool factor. It may be the coolest cigar lounge in the country, including Vegas, including New York, including Miami, including Scottsdale, including Laguna, and I've hit a bunch of spots over the years. It's on.
I mean, I can walk there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I don't walk anywhere, but I mean, I could.
I mean, look, Whole Foods is like your second home.
It is, unfortunately, because
Because it's expensive.
you got to know how to work it.
It's too expensive for me.
You got to know how to work it. That's all it comes down to. If you
Okay.
Work their system, and it'll play in your favor.
Work the system, play in my favor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't spend any more money there than I do at Kroger.
Okay.
Chance.
So if you figured it out,
Figured it out.
I probably could get through there now.
Yeah.
See, I got, 15 years ago, I started going through Fresh Market, and then I realized I couldn't afford it. I had to cut myself off for 10 years. Now I've been going back, but I only go for 2 or 3 items.
Right.
1 steak. I mean, there's nobody in my house anymore, right? So there's very little food in my refrigerator. Wendy made cheese grits last night and a venison burger, and we were good to go. And we had a tomato from the farmer's market.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was all we needed. It was more than we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm going with that.
So
That's how
I can do coconut water. I can do 1 steak. And if I need like some Key City or ice cold Budweiser, I can do that at Fresh Market.
Bud Healthy.
Bud, ice cold Bud Healthy with a cheeseburger
Love that.
for lunch. Or maybe later this afternoon. Some of you don't want to have a beer at lunch. I get it. Some of you do. And I get that too.
Yeah.
I'm good with breakfast beers. Right?
I mean, it's one of the top 5.
That Key City Moonchild. Oh, Michelob Amberbach is what I realized would be a good breakfast beer for an 11 a.m. kick. Because you just need a little more oomph in your beer in the morning, late morning. And then you can cruise into a little bit lighter beer.
That's right.
Key City Moonchild. That is delicious beer. We don't have any. That's on you, Jack Bourgeois. But I love you, baby. Hey, theagup.com text line, 601-885-3776. Twitter handle @BowBounds. And let's do this. The Budweiser caller line is 601-707-3750. Nothing better than wings and an ice-cold Budweiser at Martin's in Livingston.
It ain't bragging if you can back it up.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. I've got Jackson Meadows with me, but now y'all are calling him Snacks because he gets up around 1 a.m. every morning and eats, which is unbelievable to me. But this man can do it. He can pull it off. He can eat Doritos, Nerds, and Mochi ice cream at 1 a.m. for 2 hours and then go back to bed.
Yeah. It's the only way I know how to live.
It's the only way you know how to live.
I told you it's an event. So, I save my best pieces of dessert for 1 a.m.
Okay.
I told you that when Wally brought that banana pudding up here.
How much banana pudding did you eat over 4 days after midnight?
Man, the whole thing. I don't think I ate any of it before midnight.
Okay.
Maybe a bowl. The bowl for breakfast I ate here.
Right.
I had another bowl for breakfast. And that's about it. Everything else, wait.
Got it. I'd love some banana pudding from Burgers Blues Barbecue.
There's a really good.
What is it about banana pudding for breakfast?
It's I think it's the lightness.
Because it's light and cold? Yeah.
And it would go well with, any kind of breakfast drink. Like a coffee. I think a coffee would go well with it.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, so would a Key City Prost.
Yes.
I thought somebody on the text line nailed it. Key City Prost, great for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Oh, he threw the other two in. Did you see Wally Cummins tweeted to us at Bo Bounds the pictures of eating at Helen in Birmingham last night?
Oh.
Yeah, he had a feast. An absolute feast. In fact, he went with tiramisu. He said they had warm, we talked about cold or warm banana pudding. They had warm banana pudding, but he said the table decided to go tiramisu, which good tiramisu is absolutely amazing. And then you top it off with a cigar from Spring Street Cigars, an Aroa or H. Upman. Golly, Aladino, or Drew Estate. Or Rocky Patel's going to be in Hattiesburg in 2 weeks, which is amazing. That's like bringing in the, Tom Brady or, Bono of cigars. So he opened up the Starkville one a couple of years ago. They got him coming in to Starkville. That was amazing. They had over 600 people through the cigar shop throughout the day. We ended up going to Restaurant Tyler with Rocky Patel. That was fun. It was about 10 of us. And he's a huge Wisconsin Badgers fan and Green Bay Packers fan. Built that from scratch. Now I think they sell 30 million cigars a year. When he took it over, they were dead broke. And he had to kick the other two investors out and bootstrap it. And 24 years later, Rocky Patel is a monster in the cigar industry. So... And he flies private, so he figured it out.
Yeah.
He did. But he'll tell you it wasn't easy. He stays on the road 250 days a year. Now, he's a bachelor. But, he's been a road warrior. He has sold those cigars. Now he's got a huge team, but still he'll be at Spring Street in Hattiesburg. It's downtown. You were there.
I was. It was really cool.
Yeah. It's a beautiful building, isn't it?
Big fan of that place.
John and the team are good at going into buildings, just like the Rogue has a lot of character. High ceilings, exposed brick, all the wood, and so on. But Spring Street's going to take 3 floors in the Rogue building. So you have the Rogue, Nukes, and Spring Street Cigars, and they'll have a full bar. They don't have that at any of their, they have other wonderful things, and you can, bring stuff in and so on. They'll have a full bar at Spring Street in Jackson.
I'm so glad.
It's great. You can have an amazing meal at Aplos or wherever in the Highland Village area and then go over there and have a cigar, there's something about a cigar after a really good meal. Now, I think it's cigar and coffee is great too.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can do on the weekend sometimes, which is fabulous. What does this guy say? You haven't had a beer until, All right, did we get some? Oh my gosh, we got some text on Sun chips with foundation smash burger.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Okay. He's listening on the radio, driving along with a bunch of scary drivers on 55. And he said, yes, I'm voice texting. That's Joe weighing in. Thank you, Joe. Alan G he's in a truck headed to Starkville. Original Pringles. I love original Pringles. Good call, Alan G. Mickey or Mikey. I'm thinking Mickey. No, Mikey.
Mikey.
Listening on the Out of Bounds radio app. Heck yeah. Regular Lays, they're great. I can't eat them often, but they are so good. They're so greasy and amazing. Regular Lays for the win. He said they pair well with the Tito's Bloody Mary. He's trying to win, and I like that. When you throw in a little extra. Let's see, what is this? I'm listening from Yazoo City to y'all on the radio. My favorite chip is Munchie part?
Oh, Munchies.
Okay, do I know what Munchies are?
It's got it's a variation of, well, it's just got a mixture of like Sun Chips, Doritos,
Okay.
Cheetos, pretzels, stuff.
Okay.
Like that. Solid. I almost got a bag last night.
Okay, with the THC cigar.
Nice.
Yeah. Great call. I know where he was going there. Radio in Flowood from Cheryl. Not many potato chips that I'll eat other than Zaps
From
Voodoo.
Cheryl.
I love Zaps. Voodoo, I don't eat those, but I know people love them, and I get it. I'm jalapeno and regular.
Same.
This is who? I think they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about there. Radio Golden Flake Sweet Heat Barbecue.
Yeah,
that's something you would like.
They're so good. Those are really good.
Golden Flake are out of Tuscaloosa or Birmingham.
Yeah.
They've been didn't Paul Bear Bryant endorse Golden Flake a million years ago?
That would not surprise me.
Yeah, and didn't Wimp Sanderson do Golden Flake commercials in the 80s that I remember as a kid?
Birmingham.
Yeah. So Golden Flake is tied into Alabama. I bet you love those Sweet Heat.
Oh, Sweet Heat's just phenomenal. It's just not as good as the Doritos Sweet Chili.
Let's stay on the agup.com text line. Listening and Jackson at my warehouse on the radio. My favorite chip is Miss Vicky's jalapeno. Yeah. With a Nuke's chicken salad sandwich. There you go. We were talking about Miss Vicky's earlier. We've got another listener, Radio Miss Vicky's Salt and Vinegar. Do you like salt and vinegar?
I do. Took me a while, but I came around.
Okay. Earl says, I'm listening on the radio and I'm in the bathroom. Well, there we go.
There we go, Earl.
There we go, Earl. I'm glad that you stay with the show.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on.
Dedication.
Shower or bathroom time, whatever you have to do. That's why you download the Out of Bounds radio app, and you can stream it anywhere, or go to the zone1059.com or the Out of Bounds radio app. Bo, I'm on I-55 North listening on 1059 The Zone. Favorite chip is Zapp's Voodoo. Oh my gosh. Lay's cheddar sour cream? No. Can't do anything sour cream. Can't do it. I know Jackson Meadows is over there going, I love those. I'm not sure there's a chip. Is there a chip you can think of that you don't like?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't like the Funyuns.
Okay.
I just don't like them. They just smell terrible.
So does anything sour cream.
That's a good
Chips.
point. But they're sour cream and cheddar. So the cheddar dominates the sour cream.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily just smell a bunch of sour cream. You smell the cheddar.
No, you
You smell a little bit of it.
Yeah. But unnamed tech. No, it's Brian from Philadelphia. He listens on the radio and app. Fritos are not good by themselves. They're like croutons for chili. I think that's fair enough.
They are. It's pretty
I mean,
good.
croutons in an amazing Caesar salad are fabulous.
Like good croutons.
Croutons dropping in a chili, that sounds fantastic. I mean, I'm not a huge chili guy, but a couple times a year I can do that. Again, I'd rather just convert it to nachos, which is a win on some Tostitos or whatever you want to do. But they drop a crouton in the tomato basil soup at Bravo, and there's something about it.
Gotta have it.
Got to have it, especially if you get a sandwich, dip in the tomato basil when you're at Broad Street. Ridiculous.
That's it. Right
Ridiculous.
there.
We got a picture from someone on Twitter at Bo Bounds of an amazing breakfast sandwich from Beagle Bagel downstairs. When I got here this morning, it looked like they had about 60 breakfast bagel sandwiches out that they were preparing for a couple of different businesses catered. Mark and Sally do an amazing job. Thank you for giving them a shout out on our Twitter feed at Bo Bounds. So it was good to see that.
They had probably the most beautiful pan of cinnamon rolls I've ever seen in my life.
I saw that.
That was
I can't believe you didn't get one.
I can't. Trust me, it took everything I had to not. Had there been enough time,
You would have.
I think I would have.
Okay.
But I mean, they were fresh out the oven. Yeah, I could have drilled. I probably could have gotten like 2 of those down. It'd have hurt because they're big.
Those are monster cinnamon rolls that they do at Beagle Bagel.
But they were just, they were nice and perfect. So they really just slid down my throat.
Yeah.
I might have to go get one.
I've watched you smash a cinnamon roll and then go into a sugar coma.
Yes.
Just immediately.
And
like a trance. Zone out. Can't get anything else from you.
no. Because when I hit that limit, it hits.
It does.
It's max.
Robbie said when he heard what Jackson ate at 1 a.m. this morning, he said, sounds like you're pregnant. And Jackson texts back, I feel pregnant.
Sometimes I do, man.
Unnamed texter, we're listening on the radio in Vicksburg, Pringles, cheddar cheese. Don't forget, y'all, if you want look, the signal is 50,000 watts, and that's good. Download the Out of Bounds radio app. You can stream it from wherever you are in Vicksburg, Meridian, Philadelphia, Mississippi, because we've already got 2 Phillies on the deal this morning. We appreciate you listening to the show. I don't know what direction to go on Ole Miss at Arkansas. Ole Miss should win the game, but what does that mean? I mean, should. They should have won a lot going up there. And there's just something about, they played since 1981. I can remember the Veterans Memorial Games of Arkansas and Ole Miss. And then in 92, when we went to West and East Division, Ole Miss and Mississippi State started playing Arkansas every single year and have since, even in the new format that we got this year, which will then be a new format in 2026. But State and Ole Miss will play them again next year. Ole Miss will host. Mississippi State will go on the road. They played them in Little Rock. They played them in Fayetteville. Mullen had a lot of success. Ole Miss has won some, but they've struggled a little bit with Arkansas. It's just something weird.
A little bit.
They've won in 2000 and 2008 up there. If you remember, Dak went up there and threw for 1,000,000 yards in 2015. What'd they do? Did they have to block a field goal or a PAT to win? I think it was a field goal, late chip shot field goal late in the game one year. I mean, Arnett went up there and won last year with obviously a team that was in, again, absolute and total disarray, right?
Yeah, how did he manage that?
They won 7-3. It was it wasn't quite the Tuberville Croom 3-2. It was 7-3, and I don't think they threw a forward pass in the second half. Remember, Mullen went down to Florida in 2010 and did not throw a pass from the 12-minute and 49-second mark of this was the beginning of the end for Urban Meyer. 2010, Dan goes down there and beats a team he had no business beating. He had Chris Relf at quarterback, Vic Ballard at tailback, and they didn't throw a pass from 12 minutes and 49 seconds in the second quarter on, I don't think. Dan was like, hey, I've got KJ Wright, Fletcher Cox, Josh Boyd, Jonathan Banks. We're going to make them, roll down and beat us. And they did. So that's what it looked like. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by the amazing breakfast sandwiches at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. There's a new Fleetway Market in Clinton. Check that out, too. Open 24/7. And somebody mentioned the catfish and turnip greens at Fleetway Market on Friday. They do serve breakfast and lunch. They got the grab and go. If you're in the area, Fleetway Market, Market Cafe in Gluckstadt, go ahead and fuel up, grab a breakfast sandwich. They've got grab and go at lunch, but you can go in there and sit down. And our listeners have told us about the catfish and turnip greens at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We are the Out of Bounds Show. And back after like a 2-month road trip in the state of Mississippi, Jeff Jones with Jonesy Q and Wickers. He now owns Wickers, which I've been talking about for some time now. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. And Jeff Jones, good morning. How is a Wednesday during football season treating you?
It's treating us good, Bo. It's Wednesday, so we're doing the trick or treating early tonight over in the Rabbit since we have the storm coming in tomorrow. So
okay,
having to make a little shift on a Wednesday, but we're going to make it work.
I didn't even think about that. Okay, so y'all have got. Are you dressing up or no?
Probably. My son has not decided what I'm going to wear yet, so it might be one of those, quick little timeouts. Have to make a little wardrobe change and then run back out.
Okay, you should dress up in your junior college football uniform.
Oh wow! You know what? See, back in the day when you left, you didn't get your outfit. You didn't get to take it. You didn't get to take anything. My helmet, I do have my helmet, but it's at Southern Miss in the equipment room with all of their helmets. So
okay,
do have some things, but not everything.
Man, I bet you could do. So you played for Mississippi Delta, right?
Northwest.
Okay. I bet you could do like a 10-part series podcast on bus trips in the 90s, JUCO bus trips, Northwest Community College. I bet they'd be unbelievable. I don't know how many stories you could tell under the FCC umbrella, but podcast-wise, you have free reign. Wouldn't they be epic?
They would be. I mean, we had Coach Bobby Franklin, which was one of the most intense comedian coaches I've ever met. I remember, I can't remember who we were playing, but all of a sudden, Coach Bobby, third down, he's yelling punt. And we're all looking, and he starts sending the punt team out third down, and we had to call timeout, and because he was so wound up about a bad play that he just said punt the ball. Well, we still had one more down to go. At the time, I was on the punt team, so I'm running out there, and everybody's looking at me, going, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Coach, yelling punt. You just got to come punt." So, but I love Coach Franklin. I get to see him once a year when he comes back for the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame inductions on Saturdays. He always comes back, so it's always good to get to see him. But yeah, we had great stories. We had great players: John Avery, Andre Roan. We had a bunch of guys.
Wow.
Ole Miss and State. We were stacked, man. Those days were they were fun. They were intense. I mean, just the talent I think that we had. I mean, we had a lot of we had a lot more capabilities to be a lot better, but everybody went on, had successful careers, and went Ole Miss, State, and Georgia. We had a lot of for some reason we funneled a lot of our defensive players to Georgia, which was weird. But when you're young and in junior college, you don't understand the system, how it plays out, and where everybody really recruits from and what they're looking at. So
Right.
It was fun to be a part of.
Interesting. So Georgia must have had an assistant coach either with Mississippi ties or just understood he needed to be in the JUCO ranks or was tied to Bobby Franklin or somebody on staff. But you're right. Now that I remember, so that was Jim Donovan. No, Jim Donnan. Jim Donnan at Georgia.
Donnan.
It was before Mark Richt. And evidently Georgia was coming in and poaching some players. How fast was John Avery? Do you remember the first time you saw him like boat race somebody or run away from everybody in practice?
Yeah, you didn't really know. I mean, one, he's fast, but it was really his first year of playing football. So John was a indoor track guy in high school, so he never played football. So John did not learn offensive style schemes until his freshman year. But I remember our sophomore year, Malik Griffin was a cornerback for Ole Miss from South Panola, and he actually went to Ole Miss and started his freshman year. And he came down to JUCO, could have been something to do with grades, I'm assuming. And him and John, I think, ran the 40 against each other every day and Malik could never beat him. But he was so cocky, and this guy was like, I'm going to beat him. And John would fake pulling a hammy sometimes just to let him win. And then Coach Franklin would flip out, and he's like, "You pull a hammy?" And John sits over smiling. He's like, "No, Coach, I didn't want to run." So it was interesting. He was so fast and so quick, like in the box, like with his first two steps. I mean, I'm pretty sure my freshman year on the scout team, I got sidetracked a few times in front of him. So
Yeah, that would happen.
It's just what it is. You just got to recognize talent and go, "Yep, just he's got it and I don't, and let's just keep moving."
Yeah, he was he could break ankles. I mean, that dude, Tuberville and that staff did a great job getting him on campus, and then Jimmy Johnson drafted John Avery in the first round when he was with the Miami Dolphins, which is I think that's right. It was pretty cool. Out of Ole Miss. We're visiting with Jeff Jones. He played at Northwest Community College, sharing some stories. Bobby Franklin was a legendary coach up there, and Jeff mentioned all the I guess now Power 5, but SEC, among other conferences, talent that went through there. So what was the most fun game or biggest game that y'all played, Jeff, when you were there at Northwest Community College?
I think it was always against Hines, because Hines was.
Oh, Smoot was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my senior year of high school, Mississippi Delta had just won the national championship. So back in the day, you couldn't go to any JUCO. You had to go to your district. So I was being from Cleveland, I was a Mississippi Delta guy. So I had to get released to go to Northwest. And, Hines had come in and done really well. I remember I'm assuming it was my sophomore year, we played at Hines. It was pouring down raining. And Michael Myers was the defensive tackle that ended up going to, I think Michael went to Alabama.
He did go to Bama.
I mean, just a stud. And so I go out on, hyped up game. And I go out, and this guy's lined up across from me. He was on punt block, I guess. And I'm just sitting here thinking, and I was 250. So it's not like I was a little guy. And this was a monster. I mean, it's just when you realize you know, what depth you're in at a point in time. You're like, wow, it's a big man. And you just do everything you can. But I remember the Heinz games were always really big, intense games for us, because that was going to whoever got out of that game was pretty much going to go on to win the state and win the national championship. I mean, because back in those days, though, Mississippi just
loaded.
Cheryl kind of took a little break.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they had it. I mean, our quarterback went to LSU, Brian Sparacina. There was just so much talent in Mississippi, and there still is. I mean, it's not that it's not anymore, but, you know, with NIL and how things have changed up, I mean, back in the day, if you didn't like where you were going to get offered, you'd go JUCO, and you'd play JUCO and then really show off, because you had great talent, and at the time you had really good coaches, and, you know, you could basically go pick your school after that. I mean, it was, you know, people coming in looking at John Avery. I mean, I know that being on a talented roster in junior college is like being on a talented roster in high school. You have all these colleges coming in looking at you, and then that's when some players get exposed to the point of a team's like, well, we were looking for a kid. We saw this other kid over here.
Great point.
That, you know, when you were looking at someone else. So it was fun. But I think Heinz was our biggest, most up game that we could go do, because it was for all the marbles playing in.
Jeff Jones hanging out with us on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We call him Jonesy. He owns Jonesy. Well, he owns a surgical sales company, but his side hustle is Jonesy Q rubs and seasoning, and Wickers, which is he's about to tell us about, which he bought a couple of years ago, and played at Northwest and Southern Miss, and good friend of the show. And I could do JUCO stories for days. Yeah, Franklin versus Murphy in the 90s was game on, Jonesy. I mean, golly. Your roster, your team was stacked. Heinz was stacked. And then some things shifted after that. But I remember that now. Wow. Okay, let's pretend that some of our listeners don't know what Wickers is. So if you're hanging out this afternoon and you're at the Rabbit and you're having a martini or a glass of red wine before or after Halloween, and somebody asks you about Wickers, give me the spill.
You know, Wickers is, as of right now, they're a 77-year-old company out of Hornersville, Missouri. This company has been probably one of the leading, and not intentionally, but one of the leading base and marinades companies for the longest period of time. You know, Wickers still has a registered trademark of the best based in America, because it just kept winning all of these national awards. And coming from the barbecue world, cooking with my dad, you know, one of the base that we would always use was Wickers. So it's the fact that you would always see it in the grocery store in the half-gallon jugs or the red label. And, you know, this product has just been standing the test of time. There's really not anything else like it. And opportunities just become opportunities at this point in time when you start looking at, you know, as you said, my side hustle is medical, because I spend more time with Jonesy Q and Wickers lately than I do the real job. But, you know, an opportunity kind of plugged along with a great opportunity to take on a little bit of history. And it was at the time where this company could hang around for about 25 more years, or it could fall. And I took a chance and went and met with the previous owner, met with the team that's up there, and decided, you know, this would be a good move for me personally, you know, do a little investment, but also to help promote the Jonesy Q brand as well. And so what I've tried to do is take the two brands and somewhat marry them together a little bit. Wickers has really never had seasonings, so what Jonesy Q has is seasonings. What Jonesy Q has never had is a national brand nationwide, which Wickers has. So taking the good from everything, mixing a little bit together and getting it out there, it's been a really good challenge. And, you know, it's like anything, you have to come in, you have to take baby steps when you buy a company, because you can quickly make the wrong decisions just from inexperience. You're coming from the medical, the financial end of it. going into the food aspect of it. You know, you and I have had numerous conversations about this. It's a totally different world. And so you have to baby step around it. But we've done really well, man. We've rebranded a lot of the new things, put stuff in new bottles. We've switched up a little bit of our brokers, getting us better coverage in a lot of areas. It's still a struggle. You know, I had one of your listeners, I think you sent me a message where somebody was trying to find something. Then they reached out to me on social media. And it's a challenge with foods because not every grocery store, especially if you take just one particular chain, our products are not always in the same areas at grocery stores. So if you walk into one, it's typically over here. You walk into another one, it's over here. So it's kind of like spin the wheel, take a guess, go figure out where it's at. That's kind of how it works. And if the dice are in your favor that day, then you're in good shape finding it. So that's been the toughest part, I think, is introducing new brands. You never want to change something that's, you know, the Wicker's original recipe is over 100 years old. I mean, it was Peck Wicker's grandmother's recipe that he took from his mom, made and pushed out 77 years ago. So you can't change, you know, the perfect brand, but what you can do is you can enhance other things. And I think our partnership with Breckenridge Distillery out of Breckenridge, Colorado, I think utilizing their barrels, actually having a master distiller that is going to help us change some notes and some things on our end that goes better with their barrels to enhance our flavor profiles. I think, you know, you just have to bring in people that are successful in other areas that you can work inside of and use what you know, use what they know. Don't be scared to ask, you know, other people and other companies for help on some things. And we're going to try to take this brand and make it, you know, even more better than what we have done over the last couple of years.
Jeff Jones, Jonesy, on the Out of Bounds Show, wickersfoods.com. That's with an S, wickersfoods.com. You can shop there for the Wickers Original, Whiskey Wagyu, top shelf, wild black label. And then, as he said, they're in Kroger and so on, but you never know what's going on in the whole grocery distribution world. And we love the dry rubs too from Jonesy Q. Wickersfoods.com, award-winning pit master, Jeff Jones on the Out of Bounds Show. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. And I love the JUCO stories. We're going to have to do this again when you get back from Canada.
And we'll have to do that, and we'll have to talk about Fletcher Cox's suit the other night on TV. Ooh, I could wear that for Halloween, the purple thing.
Yeah.
That was.
Strong. Strong.
That was. I mean, that's good, though. It's good.
Hey, be good, buddy. Happy Halloween.
All right, good talking to you, Bo. Have a good one.
See you, man. Jeff Jones, wickersfoods.com. Northwest Community College football in the 90s. Tommy Tuberville was dialed in over there, as were some other coaches. Bobby Franklin versus Coach Murphy at Hines. Unbelievable. We're live in the Bank Plus studio.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
You ready?
Let's go! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now live in the Bank Plus studio, where college football meets the all lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds, streaming around the world live at the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
Where are you?
The Zone.
Man, we had some kickball trash talking going on during the break. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We have a special guest in studio. You can watch the show. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. And we are hanging out with Brant Watson with United Country Southern States Realty. Are you looking to buy hunting land? Find your dream recreational and hunting property. Call Brant Watson today or in 10 minutes when he's off the air. You can text him if you want. His number 601-341-8618. And we're excited to have Brant Watson with United Country Southern States Realty on the show. And if you're looking to buy amazing hunting land, call Brant Watson today. Brant, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Glad to be here.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Macomb. I was born and raised in Macomb, Mississippi, so just an hour, 15 minutes down the road. And then I went to school at Mississippi State. And then once I graduated, moved up here to Jackson and then moved into Madison. So this is my home now, but our office is actually down in Macomb. And we got them spread out, Natchez, Macomb, and then a couple in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So I'm back and forth from the office about 2 or 3 days a week. And
Where did you go to high school?
Park Lane.
I knew it.
So I'm kind of in enemy territory up here. You know.
Bert Caruth country.
Yep.
Yeah. Bert's a good dude. Friend of mine.
Enemy territory growing up. You know, all the guys, MRA, Prep, and JA, but that's some of my best friends.
Sure.
Now, so.
Man, we went down there and played all the time. You had to bring your lunch pail going against you guys regardless of sport. I can remember the I-55 South trips left and right for multiple sports. Brant Watson hanging out with us on the Out of Bounds Show. All right, what's the name? Let's get to important stuff. Obviously, I want you to sell, 1,500 acres tomorrow of amazing prime hunting land somewhere. But what is the name of your kickball team?
We are the Purple People Eaters.
Jackson Meadows, who is the commissioner of the Northeast Jackson Kickball League. Do you know of this team?
I do. They're a new team this year. We've added them into our league, and they have been a great addition.
Purple People Eaters. I love that.
They're a very good addition.
Is this your first year to play, Brant? Or
It's my first, but last year they were Purple Rain, I believe, and then we added some people. And
remember, I told you we had that little deal with the other league, that we had to boot for Monday nights.
Oh.
So they were playing in the Monday night league.
There was a Monday, Tuesday.
That's correct. We were Tuesday.
I remember you saying that.
And we
this summer.
Had to pull a power move and bump the other league.
Did y'all win Monday night?
we did not. But I'm saying it's the best thing for us because we're on a high horse. We're tied for first.
Right.
And played.
Are they good?
They're good.
Played the number one team that we were tied with. And,
They needed a loss.
We needed a loss to get knocked down a little bit. So
What's your record now?
we're 5-2.
That's strong.
They're really
We're
good.
5-1.
Yeah,
But
they're really good.
Okay. 5-2. Brant Watson with United Country Southern States Realty and the Purple People Eaters of the Northeast Jackson Kickball League. Did you play at 7 or 8 o'clock the other night?
7.
7.
right.
Jackson, when did you play?
I always played 8.
Oh, you're always a late game?
Always late game, yeah.
When did Emma Bond play?
7 o'clock.
She played at 7.
She played on the field.
Did you-
Jason
7's
did,
the way
so.
to go.
7's the way to go.
It is.
Did your team win?
We did not.
What's your record?
5-2.
That's still good.
Yeah, 5-2. So we're all right. We're able to take a deep breath right now.
What's the name of your team?
It's To Kick a Mockingbird.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrible.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. But it's been there for 15 years or 20 years. So
And what's the name of Emma Bond's team?
Red, White, and Bruise.
I like that.
I like it. It's good.
Red,
They got-
white, and
They got good
Bruise.
jerseys.
They got
too.
great jerseys.
Great jerseys.
What?
PBR. themes.
Oh, that's classic.
It's really good.
Okay.
They should have made dry fit jerseys, but yeah.
I wonder
other
if
than that,
they could get me a jersey so I could wear it on the show.
I feel quite.
Do you think you could pull
I absolutely could.
that off?
I asked for one when we played them just to have.
Yeah.
They're good shirts.
Do
I
y'all
asked
wear
one the other day?
purple, or do you just wear whatever?
We have some character on it that's a big circle animal. It's purple. Probably something elementary kid would wear, but
Yeah.
it's
Important. Here's
fun.
a who.
It makes it fun.
Okay.
Yeah, they trotted out athletes out there.
Brant looks like an athlete.
It's
What
not
what
athletic.
sports did you play?
Football, baseball, and basketball.
He played across the board at Park Lane.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, they've got athletes on the team.
You're trying out.
Are they in the are they
They're
in the
top
A league or the
yeah.
league where
A.
you're in and you
A.
kind of screw around?
We're not going to allow them.
Okay.
In the B league.
I got
that
it.
wouldn't be fair. You're trying out girls who could sign NIL deals tomorrow.
Nice.
They have a girl that's really good on their team. She's probably the best girl.
I heard y'all talking about what a phenomenal athlete she is.
She's probably the best girl out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about my fiance. She's
That's it, right? Yeah, there we go.
She's
Well,
the
you
great
said you had to
athlete.
move her around a little bit,
Yeah, she's usually our catcher. She
Catcher
holds it
and
down
then-
at catcher.
but she had to go out to the
We had to
outfield.
put her in outfield.
Okay.
Versatility.
She got carried away for
That's all
a
it
second
is.
looking at butterflies. in the
Cam
outfield.
Matthews.
Same deal.
What did Chris Jans talk about last week on the show? Cam Matthews could play 4 different positions on the court. Basically 5, but whatever.
Yeah.
Brant Watson hanging out with us. United Country, Southern States Realty. Are you looking to buy hunting land? Call Brant today, 601-341-8618. How much fun are you having selling all kinds of tracts of
I really
land?
enjoy it. I grew up. I worked on all through college. I worked on a big cattle farm and timber farm, and grew up hunting since I was probably 2.
Right.
My dad used to carry me out there, and so it's always been my favorite thing. What I've done for fun. As soon as I have some free time, I try to get in the woods. So it's my passion, and being able to do that and help people find
Sure.
what I love and what they love,
Yeah.
what they're coming to love. It's really a joy. And
Farm, hunting camp.
farm hunting, yeah. I mean,
Just
I got
land.
2 guys that I've sold some properties to, and it's their first time having big properties, and they're just sending me every day pictures of their new deer, and that's
gratifying.
It's the joy in it, and they want you to come out there and be a part of it, and being a part of it from the beginning to the end is the best part, no doubt.
That's awesome. Brant Watson on the show, United Country Southern States Realty. So, what's your favorite as far as hunting? Deer, dove, duck,
It's gonna be turkey.
What turkey in the
Yeah,
spring?
I would drop everything to just turkey hunt.
Really?
I love deer hunting. I love duck hunting. I love squirrel hunting.
Right.
I really do love squirrel hunting. Still hunting with the 22 is probably one of my favorite things, but it's hard to beat turkey hunting and just hearing them gobble and working with them. The biggest joy is helping somebody harvest their first turkey.
Yeah.
That's more rewarding than killing one yourself, and it's you can't even talk about like the experience whenever you do get to work with one and hear one in the woods.
You wouldn't stand a chance. You
against
have
the
to be really steel.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant against the turkey. I was about to say no, I wouldn't.
Well, just
If a turkey could smell-
there's very social hunting,
Right.
like dove hunting.
Yeah.
Perfect for you.
I've
You
seen
would
that.
be amazing at bird hunting.
I've been around that.
Okay, but Brant couldn't take you turkey hunting. It just wouldn't work. You'd be talking to him. Brant would be like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
If a turkey could smell, you'd never kill one.
No.
Yeah. They can see and hear, and they're
Skittish.
They're very
All right,
skittish.
Brant, we appreciate you coming in, my friend. Brant Watson, United Country Southern States Realty. If you're looking for recreational property, investment property, hunting land, call Brant Watson, 601-341-8618. United Country Southern States Realty. Call Brant Watson today, and he'll find the land that you're looking for. You're listening to ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Thanks, Brant. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you,
Thanks for
buddy.
having us.
I want to, I don't know, I want like a muffaletta or an amazing cheeseburger or some kind of turkey avocado sandwich. What else are we thinking, Jackson? Shrimp po' boy? But I want some ruffles with it now that we've been talking potato chips. And we challenged our listeners to come through, and they did. Jackson said they were rolling in the text this morning on the agup.com text line, so we appreciate that. Ag Up, baby. Text line 601-885-3776. Do you know who Fernando Valenzuela is? So I got his baseball cards in the early 80s. He passed away last week. He played for Tommy Lasorda in the LA Dodgers. It's an unbelievable story, and it was beautiful how much how the Hispanic community, they loved him. They loved him, as they should.
Adored him.
And he comes in, he's a southpaw, he's a left-hander. During his wind-up, he looks up to the sky, to heaven.
I loved him.
Just a neat guy, always had this very contagious personality about him. And the Dodgers were good. I know they're fighting the Yankees right now, and they lost last night, but they were up 3-0. It's now 3-1.
Yep.
But Tommy Lasorda was a madman in a good way. His players loved him. He was Italian. He loved big, lived big, coached big. And in fact, there's an article in this book right here that I reference a lot, that I keep my laptop on Tommy Lasorda and his son. It's the best American sports writing of the century by David Halberstam, and it's a powerful piece on Lasorda and his son and Hollywood in the 80s and all the different things that were going on back then. But World Series champ.
Yeah.
And rock star on the mound. And he passed away last week. I had his Donruss cards, I had his Topps cards, I had his Fleer cards. And when you got the national game of the week, sometimes you got the Dodgers. Or if the Braves or the Cubs were playing them. Now, believe it or not, back then, I think I have this right, Jackson, because it didn't make any sense. The Braves were in the Dodgers and Giants and Padres division. I think I have that right.
In the West?
Yeah. And obviously the Cubs were not.
Right.
You had the Cubs up there with the Cardinals and so on. But that, so you got a little bit of that. You got a little bit of Oral Hershiser, Ron Say at one point, and Steve Sachs, and that whole group with the Dodgers. World Series champs. Lasorda was the and that was tough back then because Showtime and the Lakers, man. Even though baseball was definitely still riding high, this is before the NFL gobbled it up. But man, when Magic joined Kareem at the Lakers and they promoted Pat Riley and they went into Showtime, Lasorda could still, he still had some real estate within the LA market, which was impressive.
Oh, man. He definitely did.
And I understand that baseball was king from the 20s to the 1980, I guess, right around there. And NFL was already building through the Steelers and the Cowboys in the 70s, but then took off even more. Madden goes to the booth, and again, TV continues to get a little bit better. But I'm telling you, man, Fernando Valenzuela, kids across the country, I don't care what background, were obsessed with that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then, Lasorda also used him as a pinch hitter sometimes.
And he could hit.
Yeah, I mean, he had 10 bombs in his life.
In the NL, pitchers hit.
They did.
And you forget now that they've taken that away.
Right.
The AL was always DH, so you never got to see pitchers in the AL hit.
Right.
Every now and then you'd have a Fernando Valenzuela or a John Smoltz that could hit a little bit. Huh?
Mike Hampton was a very good. He played for the Braves as well.
Okay.
I mean, them boys, a pitcher that can hit. There's nothing better than a pitcher hitting a bomb. It just feels so good. Especially a no doubter. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubter for sure.
I mean,
Babe Ruth was a pitcher and a hitter.
Come on, Shohei.
Well,
the new Babe.
Dude, that's a different level.
The Babe of the Babes.
That's a different level.
Valenzuela was the first and so far the only player to win the Cy Young and the Rookie of the Year in the same year. Dodgers won the World Series that year as well. 81.
81 was his year. Yeah. I was 8 years old. Yeah. And I was obsessed. I was obsessed with baseball, and I was obsessed with baseball cards.
2-time Silver Slugger, Fernando Valenzuela.
I'm looking. That's incredible.
I love that so
I mean, the
much.
dude, he didn't look like it, but he was an athlete.
He does not. No, you would have been mistaken.
Because we all grew up with kids who may have been a little chubby, just a little bit. But, dude, they would work. I mean, all of a sudden you'd be like, dude, this guy can move. Fernando Valenzuela was an athlete and a hell of a pitcher. And like you said, he could do some other things, too.
From Echequalia.
Lasorda. What now?
He's from Echequila,
Mexico.
Mexico. It's in Sonora, Mexico, yes.
Okay.
Echequila.
I don't know where that is.
Small town within the municipality of Navajo. Navajo, Sonora, Mexico.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, most of us have been to, Cancun and Playa del Carmen. I've been to Puebla, and I've actually taken a bus. Not sure that was the smartest thing, but we took a bus from Puebla to Acapulco.
Rolling the dice.
I mean, and I'm talking to, we were down in the jungle of Mexico, stopping in just crazy places. But I'd love to know where that, where that is. His story's amazing. How he got out, how he got there. Dodgers had a scouting system, Jackson, that was so far advanced than everybody else. They understood to go get players in Mexico and the Dominican and, now international baseball, it's all we know.
Right.
It wasn't always like that. And they had some cutting edge stuff going on as far as scouting.
I'd love to know how that developed.
I should know who the godfather of LA Dodger scouting, and I think I may have read it. There's a book on eyesight and the Dodgers, and I've read parts of it. And so they had it's somewhere in the maybe late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s. They figured out advanced scouting damn near better than anybody else. How about that?
Paid off for them, I'd say.
Yeah, 81, 88. People remember Kirk Gibson in the homer, but Oral Hershiser was dealing during that postseason. Fernando Valenzuela, unbelievable. And they won it in 81 and 88. And let's see. I didn't realize that about Lasorda. Okay. Hell of a deal. So, shout out. Rest in peace to Fernando Valenzuela. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Speaking of eyesight, if you need cataract surgery, call Eye Care Professionals today. Or if your kid needs a checkup because they're not seeing the ball as well as they need to. Eye Care Professionals, Dr. Kirk Jeffries, 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. This is 105.9 The Zone, ESPN.